It's Miranda. It's Rissa. And you're watching the Grizzly News. The recent floods we had weren't cool, but the weather sure was. Speaking of cool things, let's see what Nick has to say about sports.
There really isn't much for sports this week, and Nick was out for complications. But in college basketball action, Kentucky beat Ole Miss 96-78, and tomorrow they play Florida at noon. Louisville lost a close one to Virginia, 67-66, and tomorrow they play NC State at 6. That's all for sports this week. Now back to you guys in the studio.
On this day in history, it's Dr. Seuss's birthday. Hey Miranda, what's your favorite Dr. Seuss's book? I'd have to say The Lorax. Let's see what some of our teachers and staff's favorite is.
All right, so I wanted to share with you all just a couple of the different books that I use in my classroom that are Dr. Seuss books. One that I've generally done at the end of the school year for my 8th grade students is Oh, the Places You Will Go. A lot of you are probably familiar with that book. But another one that I discovered a few years ago, it's actually one of the last books that Dr. Seuss was working on, had sketches of before he passed away. And some of his coworkers or partners found some of the sketches that he was drawing for this book, and had some of his the lyrics or the rhymes already, some of his proofreading and editing kinds of marks, revisions and things like that. And they put those together and actually finished the book after he passed away. And the book is called Hooray for Diffin' Doofer Day. And I really like this book because it kind of is the philosophy of my classroom. And the thing that happens in Diffin' Dooferville is that they're at their school, and it talks about some of their different teachers. One of their teachers is Miss Bonkers, and they think she has a crush on the principal. They're not real sure. He has removable eyebrows. This is Mr. Lowe, the principal, and he's always usually sad and pretty grumpy. And he finds out that they're going to have to take this big test, and they'll be compared to all of the other schools around. And he's really nervous and worried about it. And on one of the pages, Miss Bonkers actually talks to her students about what they've learned or what they've done to prepare for the test. So Miss Bonkers tells her students, "Miss Bonkers Rose, don't fret," she said. "You've learned the things you need to pass that test and many more. I'm certain you'll succeed. We've taught you that the earth is round, that red and white make pink, and something else that matters more. We've taught you how to think." And I won't spoil the ending for you when the test results come back, but I can tell you that our school has played out the same way that the story plays out. Our last 3 years of not only success on the state test, but also that our students have learned to think, and that that's important for us as educators, because we know that when you are gone from us, when 8th graders move on to the high school, that that's a skill that you're going to be able to continue to use even when we're not there. So I love sharing with my classes Hooray for Diffin' Doofer Day, especially around state testing time.
Dr. Seuss sure had some pretty great books. Speaking of good books, let's see what Jeremiah has to say about entertainment.
Need a game to play? Hearing Things came out not too long ago and it's becoming a popular game. It's a perfect game to play with everyone in your family. Laura Croft is a fairly independent daughter of a eccentric adventurer who had vanished years earlier, helping to solve the mystery of her father's disappearance. Croft embarks on a perilous journey to his last known destination, a fabled tune in a mystical island that is somewhere off the coast of Japan. The stakes couldn't be higher, and as Laura must rely on her sharp mind, blunt faith, and stubborn spirit to venture into the unknown. Tomb Raider opens in theaters on March 16th. In the library now, Assassin's Creed is a 4.7 book level worth of 13 AR points. Wherever Christopher Rowe goes, adventure and murder follows. Even the chance to meet King Charles ends it. Brush with an assassin. All that is received from the killer is a coded message with ominous sign-off. More attempts are coming, so when Christopher's code-breaking discovers an attack on a true target, he and his friends are offered to Paris to investigate centuries-old curse on a French throne. And when they learn the ancient treasure is promised to any assassin who succeeds, they realize an entire royal family is at stake. And when their own lives, and a third heart-pounding estimate of a award-winning British Key series, Christopher, Tom, and Sally face new codes and puzzles traps to race them into hidden treasure before someone else dies. That's all for entertainment this week. Back to you guys in the studio.
That game seems fun. You know what's not fun? Getting no Grizzly giggles. Disgraceful. Well, maybe our new segment, Weird Fact of the Week, will cheer you up. I'm listening. Let's see what the fact we have for this week.
Hey guys, welcome to Weird Fact of the Week. Do you know that frogs, when they keep their mouth open, they suffocate? Isn't that weird? Well, I'll see you next week.
Don't forget to submit your Grizzly giggles. That's it for this week's episode. See you next week.